From dreams to reality, why being someone might be the wrong question. This exploration into modern existence is brought to you by Incognito, the digital privacy guardian that shields your personal data from the relentless harvest of information brokers. Use my exclusive link below to secure 60% off their comprehensive annual protection plan. Picture this moment. A curious adult leans down to a bright, might-eyed 6-year-old and poses that seemingly innocent question we've all heard countless times: what do you want to be when you grow up? Young Mason gazed up at Enya, his mother's friend, processing this weighty inquiry with the intense focus only children possess. His response bubbled up with pure, unfiltered imagination: a superhero, a baseball player, and the first person to walk on Mars. Enya's warm encouragement followed predictably: that's wonderful, I know you'll achieve all three, just keep dreaming big. You can become anything you set your mind to. Mason beamed at these words, completely oblivious to the psychological seed that had just been planted deep within his developing consciousness. This seemingly harmless exchange would echo through every subsequent conversation about his future, gradually nurturing a persistent sense that his current self wasn't quite enough, that fulfillment required transformation into something greater, more impressive, more worthy. The academic pressure cooker elementary school proved challenging for Mason. Despite his obvious intelligence, traditional learning felt constraining and uninspiring. His natural inclination toward exploration and play clashed with institutional expectations. Concerned about his potential, his parents made a pivotal decision. "Mason, you need to concentrate and apply yourself," his father explained during a family discussion about transferring to private school. "Your mother and I recognize your incredible capabilities. This new school offers smaller classes, better resources, and higher standards. Don't you want excellent grades that lead to prestigious universities, exceptional careers, and an outstanding life?" Mason's lukewarm agreement masked his growing internal conflict, caught between disappointing his parents and feeling increasingly disconnected from his authentic interests. As middle school transitioned into high school, Mason gradually conformed to these expectations. He developed disciplined study habits, meticulous note-taking, and unwavering commitment to academic excellence. His grades reflected this dedication, but the original question's roots continued spreading beneath the surface. By junior year, the pressure intensified dramatically. College applications loomed, and Mason still lacked clarity about his future direction. This uncertainty felt like personal failure. He sacrificed social connections and family time for endless research into careers and universities, joining multiple extracurricular activities solely to enhance his college prospects. The motivational industrial complex. During this period of intense searching, Mason discovered the world of motivational content and self-improvement culture. He became particularly drawn to Terry G., a charismatic business figure whose empire spanned speaking engagements, best-selling books, and massive social media followings. When Terry announced a live event nearby, Mason eagerly purchased VIP tickets, including exclusive meet and on-street access. The venue buzzed with hundreds of similarly hopeful individuals, all seeking wisdom about success, purpose, and achievement. Finally reaching the front of the line, Mason approached his idol with nervous excitement. Terry's greeting was characteristically intense: wide eyes, aggressive handshake, and rapid fire questions. "What's happening, man? How are we doing?" "I'm 17 and desperately want to accomplish something meaningful with my life," Mason explained. "I want to become someone important, but I'm completely lost about direction. My parents constantly pressure me, I feel behind my peers." "And stop right there," Terry interrupted with trademark authority. "Forget your parents, forget everyone else, focus exclusively on yourself. You control your destiny. What do you want to do? That's the only question that matters." Mason admitted his uncertainty. "Then figure it out, get out there, experiment, take risks. This is America, unlimited possibilities exist. Follow your instincts, your passions, your authentic self. If you're unhappy, that's entirely on you. Remember, you're in complete control." These words struck Mason as profound truth, further reinforcing his belief that personal responsibility and determination could overcome any obstacle, The college gamble 2017 found Mason enrolling at Drexel University, still grappling with career uncertainty. After extensive deliberation, he selected animation and visual effects, a field combining his love for gaming, movies, and the video editing skills he developed creating skateboarding footage with friends. High school computer graphics courses had revealed genuine talent and passion for 3-dimensional animation. This path felt like the closest thing to certainty he could muster. College awakened Mason's true calling within visual effects, specifically the intricate process of seamlessly blending computer-generated imagery with live and action footage to create impossible cinematic moments. For the first time, he experienced genuine clarity about his future direction. Working on major Hollywood productions would surely validate his worth and justify years of sacrifice. His parents endorsed this plan enthusiastically, motivating Mason to commit completely. He optimized every aspect of his existence around this goal: scheduling systems, workflow technologies, supplementary learning opportunities. By junior year, Mason had specialized in asset and texture creation, transforming conceptual designs into detailed 3-dimensional models for film production. When reality shifts beneath your feet, graduating in 2021, Mason encountered an unexpectedly brutal job market. The visual effects industry had become hyper-competitive, while technological advances were already reshaping traditional production roles. The global pandemic had further contracted opportunities across entertainment industries. After months of intensive job searching, Mason finally secured an entry-level runner position at a small California post-production studio. This role fell far short of his qualifications and aspirations, but represented essential first steps toward building professional credibility. Years of long hours and weekend sacrifices followed. Mason isolated himself from relationships and personal interests, channeling everything into career advancement. By 2027, he had climbed several rungs up the studio hierarchy, finally approaching the kind of work he'd trained for. Then came the devastating conversation with his manager. "Mason, I hate doing this. You've been an exceptional employee, skilled, dedicated, reliable, but we simply cannot afford to continue. The industry has changed. When technology evolves, we must adapt or perish. I hope you understand." Mason understood perfectly. Artificial intelligence-powered video generation software had reached capabilities that threatened his specialized skill set. What once required teams of human artists could now be accomplished faster, cheaper, and easier through automated systems. While AI hadn't eliminated all visual effects positions, it had fundamentally altered industry needs. Studios required fewer specialists like Mason, instead prioritizing project managers, concept artists, and general creative directors. Smaller companies were downsizing, restructuring, or closing entirely. The adaptation struggle. Mason spent the following year desperately seeking similar roles elsewhere, with minimal success. To survive financially, he took freelance projects outside the film industry, but even these opportunities gradually evaporated as technology advanced. By 2030, he was working 3 to 4 nights weekly as a barback, confronting the reality that he needed to either completely retrain in an entirely different field or abandon the industry altogether. Understandably bitter and disillusioned, Mason gradually chose the latter path. The question that had haunted him since childhood returned with renewed intensity: what or who was he going to be? Finding voice through fiction. During this period of uncertainty, Mason began writing about his experiences, the struggles, fears, disappointments, and existential questions that consumed him. Fiction became his preferred medium, particularly speculative science fiction that explored how emerging technologies might reshape human experience. Creating fictional worlds gave Mason a sense of control that reality had denied him. His background in storytelling, inherited from his visual effects training, provided a solid foundation for this new creative pursuit. Over the next year, Mason focused intensively on 2 objectives: completing a speculative science fiction novel and securing a publishing deal. His story imagined a near-mix future industry of consumer brain stimulation devices designed to enhance focus, boost performance, and induce meditative states. In Mason's fictional world, these devices quickly became ubiquitous, leading to widespread addiction as people became dependent on technological augmentation of their productivity and optimization. The parallels to his own experience with career obsession were unmistakable. The publishing journey proved as challenging as his previous career transition. 6 literary agents rejected his work before he found representation. 8 publishers passed before a small independent house offered a contract, which Mason eagerly accepted. 3 years elapsed from initial concept to final publication. Ironically, by the time his book reached readers, real mixed-world technology had already begun manifesting scenarios similar to his fictional speculation. The story felt dated rather than prescient. The book failed commercially, leaving Mason once again feeling foolish and worthless. The universal struggle. However, this latest disappointment coincided with a growing awareness that his experience wasn't unique. Massive numbers of people were facing similar challenges as technological acceleration outpaced human adaptation capabilities. This realization sparked an idea for another book. Several years later, Mason found himself seated across from Stephen, host of the long-form podcast, discussing his latest work. "Tell us about the book," Stephen requested. Published in 2013 Niederste 7, it's been tremendously successful across multiple platforms. That must feel validating. "What's it about?" Mason explained. The story follows Dagny, a futurist science fiction author who achieves fame in the mid-2010s. Everything goes wonderfully until the late 20s, when circumstances begin shifting beneath her. She struggles to write in the style and format that made her successful. By the 20s, every time she develops a novel concept, writes it, and publishes it, the ideas no longer resonate because technology has already moved beyond her speculation. She faces the reality that her entire identity as a futurist author has become unclear and unsustainable. Stephen leaned forward with interest. "Fascinating. My understanding is that you personally experienced industry obsolescence. With so many fields facing similar disruption, is rapid adaptability the key to modern survival?" Mason paused thoughtfully. "I got lucky, that's the truth. Throughout my entire life, people told me I could become anything I wanted. I just needed to choose and work hard. But that's not how reality functions. When adults asked what I wanted to be when I grew up, I wasn't just expected to know my life's direction while my brain was still developing. I was supposed to predict what the world would become. I could have just as easily been unlucky. Most of us are. Time and circumstances operate like a spinning roulette wheel. Nobody knows exactly where it will land, and the wheel seems to be spinning faster and faster. If you're not where you want to be in life, it's not necessarily because of personal failure." Stephen pushed back. "Isn't that perspective somewhat fatalistic?" "Not at all," Mason replied. "Look, inevitably we'll all be replaced. Everything everyone accomplishes will eventually become irrelevant. But you are not defined by your career, you're defined by your life. This doesn't mean disregarding passions, careers, responsibilities, or financial security. It doesn't mean abandoning effort or care. It means understanding how much to value those areas and how much not to. Your relationships, family, health, community, sense of connection, and fundamental okayness are equally important. You don't always need to be somewhere else, somewhere impressive, to live well and be worthy." Stephen persisted. "You're clearly ambitious, which contributed to your success and adaptability." "Doesn't that matter?" Mason smiled. "Ambition increases odds of reaching destinations, certainly, but you don't always need to be somewhere else to live meaningfully. Ambition can become a socially sanctioned addiction that society wants us to overdose on. Ultimately, the world doesn't care about you. It will move past you, or run you over, if necessary. So be careful how much you care about it." After a moment of hesitation, Stephen asked, "What's next for you?" Mason looked directly at him, smiled, and laughed softly. The answer, it seemed, was no longer the point. Digital privacy. In an age of exposure, digital technology represents the sharpest, most powerful double-edged sword ever created. It offers incredible opportunities for expression, connection, and convenience, while simultaneously providing terrible possibilities for exploitation, manipulation, and harm. One immediate area where technology invades our lives and creates serious risk involves data brokers, entities that harvest and sell our personal information without consent. Today's sponsor, Incognito, represents technology's protective side, helping shield us from these digital predators. Data brokers operate by obtaining personal information without your knowledge: names, social security numbers, login credentials, home addresses, and more. They profit by selling this data to third parties, resulting in everything from annoying spam communications to identity theft, hacking, scams, stalking, and harassment. The scale of this problem grows annually, with data breaches increasing in both frequency and scope worldwide. While you legally have the right to request information removal, the process can feel overwhelming and nearly impossible to navigate alone. Incognito transforms this challenge from hopeless to manageable. Through a simple sign-up process, you grant them permission to locate and contact data brokers on your behalf, securing rapid and effective information removal. Their annual subscription includes ongoing monitoring to ensure your information stays protected. In our increasingly disorienting and intrusive technological landscape, Incognito provides essential protection. Begin safeguarding your digital privacy today by clicking the link in the description or visiting incognito.com/pursuitofwonder for 60% off their annual plan. And as always, thank you for watching. See you in the next exploration.